If your first message to a girl is just hey, you've already lost. Want her to actually reply? You need to say something that makes her feel something. Hey, hi, or what's up are the most ignored openers on Tinder, Instagram, or Facebook. These messages are forgettable. They don't trigger curiosity, they don't entertain, and most importantly, they don't stand out. And if you don't stand out in her inbox, you disappear instantly. In this video, you'll learn exactly why hey gets ignored and what to send instead that instantly captures her attention. You'll get real examples, understand why they work, and how they create emotions that lead to real conversations and real dates. These aren't pickup lines, they're conversation starters that make her want to play along. And stick around until the end, because the last example is a one-liner so effective, it flips the script and makes her want to reply, even if she wasn't planning to. Why hey doesn't work anymore. Once upon a time, when messaging apps were new and exciting, a simple hey might have been enough to get a conversation started. But today, it's a death sentence for your chances. Women get bombarded with dozens of dry messages every week that say hey, hi, or what's up. They require zero effort, and that's exactly how they come across: lazy and unoriginal. When she sees a message like that, she's not intrigued. She's immediately bored. You're not starting a story, asking a fun question, or giving her any reason to engage. In fact, it sends a message: I'm not creative, I'm not confident, and I'm probably doing this with 10 other girls right now. Online, you have seconds to make a first impression, and hey wastes that window. If you want her attention, you need to send something that gives her a reason to stop, feel something, and want to respond. What makes a great first message? A great opener is like a magnetic headline. It pulls her in and makes her curious. It's not about being perfect, clever, or hilarious. It's about creating a tiny moment of emotional impact. That could be a smile, a laugh, a wait what moment, or even playful confusion. The best first messages do one or more of these: spark curiosity, make her laugh, reference something specific on her profile, or challenge her in a lighthearted way. But above all, they're easy to reply to. You want her to read your message and think, okay, this guy seems fun. Let's see where this goes. It should sound like you wrote it, not like you Googled it. And it should feel confident, not desperate. Remember, women don't just respond to words, they respond to the vibe behind those words. So ditch the polite formality, set the tone with energy, originality, and a little bit of charm right off the bat. High-performing message examples with breakdowns. Let's dive into a few real message examples that actually work, and why they hit differently than hey. Example 1. Okay, serious question. Are you the kind of person who puts pineapple on pizza or nah? Why it works. It's light, playful, and opinion-based, which makes it super easy to respond to. It also immediately makes her feel like she's being invited into a fun little debate. There's no pressure, and she gets to show off a bit of personality right away. Example 2. Your dog is the real star of your profile. Does he swipe for you too? Why it works. This is a profile-specific message. It shows you took the time to look at something she values, like her pet, while adding a bit of humor. It doesn't just compliment her, it acknowledges something important in her life while making it fun. Example 3. You have brunch villain energy. Am I wrong? Why it works. This one is mysterious, playful, and slightly teasing. It catches her off guard in a good way and invites her to play along. It's a light challenge wrapped in a compliment, and it almost guarantees she'll say something like, wait, what's that supposed to mean? That curiosity drives engagement. Example 4. I'm starting a campaign to get you to reply with your worst pickup line. You in? Why it works. It's interactive, unexpected, and gives her permission to have fun. Most guys try to impress. This one invites her into the game. It flips the dynamic and makes her feel excited to respond. Each of these examples is specific, emotionally sticky, and shows a sense of humor and creativity. That's what separates forgettable messages from irresistible ones. The psychology behind why these messages work. These types of messages work because they create micro-emotions immediately. Laughter, curiosity, amusement, even a subtle ego challenge. When she smiles, smirks, or even raises an eyebrow while reading your opener, that moment of emotional engagement makes her far more likely to reply. It's not about being perfect, it's about sparking something. These kinds of texts signal confidence because most guys don't take risks. They play it safe with generic lines. That's why they get ignored. Playful, slightly bold messages feel personal, even when they're not custom written, because they break the pattern. Women are used to being approached, especially online, but they're rarely approached in a creative, emotionally intelligent way. That's why when you send something different, something that has a little flair or fun, it instantly cuts through the noise. It disrupts her routine and makes her curious about you. Once she feels something, whether it's a laugh or even a quick internal, "Okay, that was clever," you've already won half the battle. Now she wants to play along. Mistakes to avoid in your first message. The quickest way to lose her attention is to start with a boring, forgettable question like, "How's your day?" or "What do you do?" These are dull, overused, and don't spark any emotional response. Another major red flag is using copy-pasted lines or sending something you saw in a meme. Women can tell instantly when a message wasn't original. Avoid opening with just emojis, GIFs, or memes. Use your words to create connection first, and never ever lead with compliments about her looks. She's heard "you're so beautiful" 1,000 times before. It doesn't make you stand out. It makes you blend in with every other guy. Avoid sounding desperate or needy too. No, please reply, no begging. Instead, lead with energy, curiosity, and playfulness. Assume you're the prize in text, like someone who knows they're worth responding to. The first message isn't about validation, it's about creating a vibe. If you're still tempted to type, "Hey, try this instead," let's skip the boring small talk. "Tell me something I wouldn't guess about you." This line breaks the pattern, opens the door to something fun and unpredictable, and shows that you're not just another guy following the script. It creates intrigue and invites her into a conversation she hasn't had 1,000 times before. It also gives her space to show personality, which most guys never ask for. She feels curious, seen, and challenged, in the best way. That's what makes her want to reply. Confidence isn't about being slick, it's about standing out by being bold and original. Drop the "hey." Start a conversation worth remembering. Start with curiosity, add a little playfulness, and you'll be shocked how quickly things shift. Because the truth is, boring gets ignored, but bold gets remembered. Make her laugh, make her think, or make her feel something, and you'll never have to double text again. Like, subscribe, and comment your best or worst first message. Let's fix your texting game together.